National Homemade Bread Day. How cool is that? Seriously. So I have this really awesome quick recipe that I'm actually going to drop the ingredients down below for you. So if you want to learn how to make my awesome homemade buttermilk biscuits, seriously, stick with me. We're going to get baking because it's still Homemade Bread Day. Come on. Everyone around the whole nation is banding together and we're all baking up some amazing homemade bread. It's been kind of a crazy day here at my house anyway, so we need a really quick bread, which is why we're actually doing the buttermilk biscuits today. So good. Oh, absolutely delicious. Now, so I may have an actual link to the full recipe available for you guys come tomorrow, but my link wasn't going through, so I just dropped the ingredients for you. So check back on this if you're going to catch the replay tomorrow, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Put our hair up. And so as always, if y'all have any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments. If you are baking right alongside with me, I'd love to see what you're making, and I think that's amazing. The type of wheat I'm using, so these are wheat berries, and this is hard white wheat. Now, when I'm grinding my own wheat, I like to use a mix of hard white and hard red, which are your two most common wheat berries that you can buy in bulk, at least here in the U.S. Now, every now and then you can get a soft white and a soft wheat. Those are amazing grains to use as well, and it will give you it'll give you a finer grind on top of it, which is amazing. This is my little Victorian grinder, and it's a back to basics one. And it's so nice, but this doesn't take any effort whatsoever to grind them up. But there is one thing to take note. When you first switch over to a grinder of your own and you stop buying from the store, there are some things that are going to change with your bread. So your home grinders are not going to grind it as fine as store-bought. Also, store-bought is sifted. So, this is out of my little Victorian. And this is out of my big grinder, and it's been sifted. Let me show you the difference. So this is very soft and fluffy. You can see how this one just kind of packs down. This one, it's still kind of a little on the sandy side. Now, compare that to like a store-bought bread. This would look extremely coarse. And my white looks more like a whole wheat from the store, which is okay. But that's the difference between home ground versus store-bought. And it does play a big key difference in how your breads are going to bake up. If this gets on any longer and it gets any later in the day, let's get our biscuits cooking. I love doing half wheat. If this is the first time you guys have been joining me, half wheat is my jam. So I love a good half wheat. It literally has the best taste. Half wheat on almost every recipe, not even joking, has the richest, how do I even explain it? It's really a rich and comforting and it's just really tasty. It's packed with flavor without being overly dense. Liberty, hush, hush. That's enough. She's complaining because she wants off her leash. So, okay, I gotta take this off because I can't move in my jacket very well. And we're gonna get baking, yeah? Woo! If you guys have a particular bread that you want to learn how to make, please let me know, and I will make sure that we put it on the list of some of our tutorials to come out. And in some cases, some of the breads I have, so there are a lot of the breads that I actually teach that are only available inside my courses, my workshops. And I've got some really cool ones coming out for you guys, actually along those lines. But I can't give it away just yet. So they're not quite finished, so I can't really dive into them. But I got some awesome stuff coming down the line, and you guys are going to be finding it really soon. Oh, it's going to be fun. You need 3.5 cups. So I'm going to be doing 1.5 cups of whole wheat. 2 cups of white. So like I said, the ingredients are below, and I will work on getting my link restored that takes you straight to this recipe too. So, it's been a while since I did this. I have to actually keep looking over at my recipe. I don't generally have to do that on this one. So I've been baking this recipe for ages, and I don't know why I have 3 teaspoons of baking soda, because 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. So, or baking powder. So 1 tablespoon of baking powder. So, and then we need 1 teaspoon baking soda. And there's that. And then 1 teaspoon of salt. You're okay, Liberty. I'll take you guys out in a few minutes. Cold buttermilk. So 1.25 is what I said. Look at lard. Look at that. Out of whack. I know I've been baking constantly, non-stop, like almost every day for months now. I'm like, how do I do this again? 3 tablespoons of lard, not 4. Okay, so 3 tablespoons, and we need 4 tablespoons of applesauce. 1 and 4. Okay, so now we need 1 tablespoon of honey. Okay, so if you're measuring with my method, the old country style method way, you need to leave this just down below the top of the spoon. And it's okay if you get a little extra in here. It's going to give you a slightly sweeter biscuit. And depending on how you're going to use this, sometimes you want that sweeter biscuit, which is really, really good. So, okay, and we're going to mix this in. Can you believe the holidays are almost there? Seriously? Oh, it's insane. We got some fun bakes. Got some fun bakes set up to come out here and some fun bakes. And our workshop's coming up. Ooh. So, yeah, I will be telling you more about the workshops and everything that's happening here. Hopefully by next week. Hopefully we'll be talking about it by next week. So yeah, it's going to be fun. gonna be fun. So we need to get ourselves a little room here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this stuff up really quickly. All right, so let's get our buttermilk in here, y'all. Thank you. Okay, so one of the big key things to remember with making biscuits, you do not want to overmix them, okay? Clara, sit down. So, do not overmix them. And sometimes your mix is going to seem like it's really, really dry when you're first initially mixing it in. You're just like, there's not enough water to do this. There's enough water here to do it. Every once in a while, you might have to add just the tiniest little sprinkle, depending on, stop it, depending on the environment factors that you have going on. Okay, so all I'm doing is just getting the general first initial mixing of this done with the spoon. And I'm using a home ground right now, and it's a little coarser. It does take a little bit more. You have everything, for the most part, mixed in here. Now, we're going to finish mixing this last little bit in. And we do not want to knead this any longer or more than we absolutely must. So it is just enough to do the job. And that's it. And then we're going to quickly finish mixing this up and then get it rolled out. Okay. Okay, so it's all mixed in there. Now we need some more flour. So just out of curiosity, where are y'all from? Like, we're here in the highlands of Wyoming. It's snowing like crazy outside right now. And so they're calling for about 1/2 inch to 2 inches. And it just kind of made me laugh, to be honest. But we get a ton of snow here. So I'm like, why are they sending out an alert for only 2 inches? Chilly winter time here in the Lone Star Valley. So that's a lot of fun in a lot of ways. Other ways, it's a lot of work. So, like, where are you guys from? Like, you got snow, if you do got snow, how much you got to have, you know, are you still enjoying some slightly warmer temperatures? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so we're all rolled out. Now with biscuits, the more you work the dough, the stiffer your dough is going to be. It's going to start taking on more of like an actual bread texture versus a biscuit texture. You want, you don't want the bread to be smooth with a baking soda. Yeah, you put them on the pan. You actually want it to be lumpy and bumpy, and that's when it's going to raise up the best, and you're going to get the best results. Which is good. Okay, so the oven should almost be ready. Sometimes our late lives are always a little fun. So anyway, guys, like these biscuits are awesome. Like they're so easy and fast to mix up, and you can change it to do all that you need to do, and like it's great. So I hope you guys like this recipe. This recipe is one of my babies. I'm not gonna lie, it is one of my babies. It's one I made years and years ago. And it's just great to be able to whip up some amazing tasting breads in a matter of minutes, and so it's great. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna go great with dinner tonight. And there should be enough left over that everybody can make their lunches with them tomorrow. Biscuit sandwiches are great, okay? They're great. And homemade buttermilk biscuits are amazing to go with so many different types of dishes. So you can serve the biscuits just as a biscuit, or you can turn it into like chicken and dumplings kind of version, and they're all baked up on top of your actual dishes, your stews, and chicken noodles, and chicken and rice, that you would make as a soup and make it a little thicker by adding in your flours and then adding your dumplings on top. Biscuits are something that I generally fix up if I'm on the fly or for like a lunches or a breakfast dish. I love how fast they are. So they only bake for 8 to 10 minutes. It literally only takes a few minutes to actually fix them up. It always takes me longer to fix them up when we are live versus when I'm just doing it. I love the fact that in a matter of 15 minutes, I can pull all my ingredients out, mix it together, roll them out, throw them on the pan, have them in the oven, pull them out, and be able to start slicing straight into them and fixing up some amazing meals. I love that, and already have everything cleaned up. As you can see, this didn't even make a mess. I guess you can't see, but like, this is just a little flour on my counter. That's it. I just gotta wake the flour up, and I'm done. Yeah, homemade bread, National Homemade Bread Day. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's something I actually participate in every year. This is the first year I've actually jumped on here with you guys and done it. It's great because it just really brings that awareness out there to people that this is an art form that is very much still alive and well today. And it's something that everybody can enjoy. And there are so many tools out there and available for people now that you can make this a reality, whether you're just using your freestand mixer, or if you're using an actual bread machine, or if you're crafting it up by hand like we were. Fixing up something like biscuits is one of the fastest type of breads there are, and it's super, super easy, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, homemade bread is, how to explain all the amazing parts about homemade bread. So, and I'm trying to be careful because I actually have something recorded for you guys, and I don't want to be crossing over too much onto that recording. So, so stay tuned. Coming out here really, really soon so in our next episode, I'm diving into a lot of the different benefits to homemade breads, and you might be surprised about some of those facts. So it's really cool because like it reduces stress and improves your health, and a lot of that happens literally just from the actual action of doing it, and it just comes from the pure satisfaction of getting your hands in that dough and making it all happen. It's amazing talking with some of my students and even members inside the group. And we get talking about homemade bread and all the memories that it brings back. And so it's just amazing what an amazing part homemade bread really does have in our lives. Homemade bread, it's not just something for like old fogies and well, I don't know. I don't really consider myself to be old. My kids, on the other hand, they're pretty sure that I'm just ancient. These are really coarse, so they didn't raise up quite as high as like your normals. Remember what I told you about the coarser the grain, the thinner the bake. So these are actually a really coarse grain, really coarse. In fact, you can even see it on the biscuits. So you can see how coarse the grain is on some of this. So these have actually risen up a decent amount. They've doubled in size. Now, if I was using a store-bought white flour on this, these would be, like I pulled them out and where they were like 2 inches tall, and they're just like huge. They're like This is a very coarse whole wheat. And you know what? They're going to be amazing tasting. So these are really hot, for one. So these are about 3/4 of an inch. So they're about half the height of what your normal biscuit is going to turn out to. So this is what it's going to look like when you're using a fresh ground flour. And that's going to vary dramatically so depending on the type of grinder that you're using. Your wheats are going to, especially with a hard wheat, your grinders are going to struggle more and more to get your grinds fine enough. And so you're going to have a coarser grain. It's going to require more working. Like I said, with biscuits, you don't want to overwork them. I actually had to work this a little more than I wanted. So you can see how they have actually a smooth top instead of being dumpy, bumpy, and lots of little holes. But they look amazing and they smell delicious. So, and knowing how this recipe is, yeah, these are going to be great. So with biscuits, you check the bottom to see if they're done yet. So you want a good crust on the bottom, and that's how you tell. So it'll be golden brown and it'll be crispy when you go to give it the good old tap. So that's pretty fun. Homemade breads, they're just so awesome. It is a comfort food that cannot be replaced with something else. It is very much a tradition and a part of the majority of a lot of our backgrounds. Now that does vary on the type of breads that you grew up on and your location and all that. But bread is an essential part of our lives. Whether you grew up on more corn-based breads or a wheat-based or a rice-based bread. You've got a lot of modern breads that are along the lines of like a cauliflower base, and those are amazing too. And it doesn't actually even matter which bread that you're making. You know, it's just amazing. Yeah, have an amazing day. And if you haven't had a chance to make any bread yet today and celebrate with everyone nationally wise for Homemade Bread Day, grab this recipe and try it out. So, ingredients are down below, and you bake it. You barely mix it up just enough to get it all together, and roll it out, cut it into shape, throw it in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes at 425, and you're done. You're golden. In a matter of 15 minutes, you're finished. From pulling your first cup of flour out to putting your flour away, cleaning your counter up, and serving it to your family. All right, my friends, we'll see you later. Make sure to drop me your questions, and we will see you next week. All right, my dear. Bye.